Thank you. Didn't he do great? That was awesome. Judy, do you guys do the concert at home every once in a while? Every once in a while? Okay. All right. This morning I want to share with you, as you notice behind me, the nature of darkness. Have you ever thought about darkness before? You know, there's two types of darkness. We have physical darkness that we have that takes place every single day from roughly this time of year, about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, till about the same the next morning, right? We also have something we don't tend to think a lot about. We have spiritual darkness that is very much alive 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And this morning I want to share with you the nature of this darkness. Where is it that it comes from? What is it all about? And let us see here. We're going to be in Matthew chapter 8. And I want to share with you this one passage of scripture here this morning. I want to share with you what Jesus Christ has to say about darkness. One of the things we have to understand here is prior to this passage here this morning in Matthew chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus Christ had cleansed the leper. Jesus Christ had healed the servant of a centurion. Jesus Christ was constantly bombarded by darkness. Everywhere Jesus Christ went, someone did their very best to stop him. Someone did their very best to slander him, to destroy him, to say that God is not who he says that he is either. And Jesus Christ pushed forward. He pushed forward because he knew who the light is, and he knows who the darkness is. And he pushed forward over and over again throughout his ministry on this earth. And here in Matthew chapter 8, verse 12, listen to what it says. It says this: "But the sons of the kingdom will be cast out into outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." You see, one of the things that we have to understand is that people don't want the light. People would rather hide in darkness than be exposed by the light. And as we have seen this so vividly in our culture over the last several years, the darkness tries so hard to squeeze out the light that it will kick and scream more violently every single time it tries to cast out the light. But I promise you this, that the darkness does not have a chance. It's going to do its best to kick and scream. It's going to do its best to create havoc in our lives. But the fact is, the cross is empty. The fact is, the tomb is empty, and Jesus Christ is alive. And since that is the case, darkness has been defeated. But let's understand this, though. We need to understand darkness. Listen, the key to defeating your enemy, no matter who that might be, and I use that term very, very loosely here, you have to know your enemy. You have to know your opponent. You have to know what their strengths are. You have to know what their weaknesses are. You know, people think, I don't see what the big deal is about football. You know, they go on the field, they throw this ball around the field, they do this and they do that, but they study throughout the week the strengths and the weaknesses of their opponents. And they know their opponents. How many of you watched the football game last week with New England Patriots lost? Nobody watched when they lost? Come on, they lost. And you know who the head coach was of the team that they lost to? Used to be their defensive coordinator. So he knew the England Patriots' strengths, knew their weaknesses, and exposed them accordingly. Now, in our life, if you and I don't know the source of darkness, what it's trying to do to you, what it's trying to do to our churches, then we're going to have a lot more problems come in than we want. So let us understand some things about this darkness. Now, understand something. There is absolutely nothing about darkness that should attract you or attract me. Okay? Absolutely nothing that should attract us to it. If you notice here, Jesus Christ said that there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So it's not a pleasant place to be. So let's look at 4 different types, or at least 4 different identities that the scriptures give us about darkness. So we're going to start out, and here, if you would please, we're going to start out in Ephesians chapter 2, which is where we're going to begin. Paul writes to the church in Ephesus, and he wants us to see some things about darkness. It's again Ephesians chapter 2. We're going to be in verse 2. And listen to what it says to us about darkness. It begins with this way. It says this. Actually, I'm going to back up to verse 1. It says, "And you have made alive who were dead in trespasses and sins, in which you once walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit who now works in the sons of disobedience." Now let's move forward, staying right here in Ephesians. Go to chapter 6, if you would, please. And in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, it says this to us: "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." So what we must understand is that the darkness is truly a person. If you notice there, it says standing up against whom? The princes, right? So this is a physical, this is literally a person here. That darkness is all about. Who is the author of darkness? Satan. What does Satan want to do? Destroy. Not just destroy, but to kill and to murder if he can get away with it. And I want us to see here that he says we have to remember that Satan is this prince that Paul is writing about. That Satan is this prince that we as Christians have to stay away from. But we as Christians also need to respect. We also need to know and understand his powers that he has, and not dabble into stuff and think we can do something that we cannot. But we need to stay away from this. Satan works in many, many different ways. He works through his minions that he has out there, these demons that he has out there. They're very real. They're very, very real. And we need to remember this, that he is a person, he is darkness, and his kingdom is real. His kingdom is on a very, very short time frame though. You see, because when the Lord Jesus Christ returns, his kingdom and his followers will be destroyed forever. They will be gone and have absolutely no power. But until that day, he is very much in control. Until that day, he is out there trying to destroy your life. He is trying to destroy my life and anybody else's life who believes in Jesus Christ. And he's trying to keep those in darkness who don't know him, God. He's trying to keep them in darkness so he can take them with him. Don't ever be fooled. Satan is never your friend, never has been, and never will be. Satan says, "I want to kill and destroy." Jesus Christ says, "I came so that you can have what? Life. And not just a little bit of life, but abundant life." So there's a big difference between Satan and Jesus Christ. There's a big difference between them. They are not brothers, never have been brothers. They are not related to one another. Satan is a fallen angel who wanted to become something that he could not. Okay? We need to understand that. And darkness around us. Guys, if you can't see the darkness around us the last few weeks, I mean, it's unbelievable. You guys realize yesterday we had 3 murders in Indianapolis last night. Between yesterday morning and last night. 3. Guys, that's darkness. That's darkness that people out there, the hatred that is involved with that. That just Satan is out there working overtime, trying to destroy the light. He's trying so hard. And he knows that he is lost. Don't let him keep you in darkness. Don't let him think that you're not worth something, because you're worth everything to God. He wants you to believe his lies. He is out there to destroy. Now, the next thing I want us to see here is we're going to stay right here in the book, in the New Testament, throughout these as I share with you. If you go back, please, to the book of Acts. Go back with me, if you would, please, to Acts chapter 26. And I want you to see what Luke writes to us about this topic of darkness. Again, it's Acts chapter 26. I want you to hear what verse 18 is as Jesus Christ is speaking to us. And here's what it says again, Acts chapter 26, verse 18. He says this: "To open their eyes in order to turn them from darkness to light, and from the power of Satan to God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among those who are sanctified by faith in me." Jesus Christ is speaking here. And Paul is actually, what Paul is doing here is, Paul is given a testimony. He has given a recount of what happened to him, how he was changed from darkness to light. How Jesus Christ changed his life. Let's face it, if you've never read about the Jesus Saul becoming Paul and his conversion from darkness to light, you should read that sometime. Look back here in the book of Acts where Paul said, I was out to destroy the very church of God. And I was having the papers in my very hand to destroy the church. And God grabbed a hold of me. And God blinded him. And then God lifted him up and showed him the light. Think about that for a moment. Paul understood this darkness. That darkness is powerful. This darkness that is out there, as he writes, to a spiritual darkness is out there. And spiritual darkness not just blinds Christians, it blinds non-Christians. You see, as Paul was writing here, he wasn't a believer when this took place. Satan will try to stop us from coming to know God. And how does he do that? By blinding our eyes, by numbing us to what's happening around us. Guys, I want you to know something. If you don't have a problem with the way our culture is going today, Satan is working hard in your life. Okay? I mean, it's terrible what's happening in our culture. He wants to numb you and I to this. If you watch television, what we see on television over and over again is they're trying to numb you and I into believing the lies that Satan teaches. And they do it by saying, but they're good people that are doing these things. They're nice people. It doesn't matter. The scriptures teach very clearly whether they're for God or we're against God. It doesn't matter if they're a nice person. It doesn't matter if they've been the greatest person that's ever walked the face of this earth, which is impossible, but that's only Jesus. But the reality is this is what he wants to do. He wants us to believe his lies. He wants us to water down his power so that we can think that we can do anything with him. Satan's not that big of a deal. What Satan will do is he'll try to convince you and I that God's not that powerful. And since God isn't that powerful, I can do whatever I want to. You can follow me. How many of you remember as a kid doing something that you knew was wrong and you did it anyway? Okay? How many as adults sometimes we do something that's wrong even though we do it anyway? Well, that's why Satan works. He wants us, he convinces us that it might be wrong, but it's not hurting anybody. It's no big deal. Guys, when I watched this stuff on television this past week, man, I saw Satan working overtime. I saw it. And I'm not talking about taking a position on anything. I'm talking about how Satan is out there to destroy. It is unbelievable. And the only way Satan can destroy is he's got to use people to do it. Okay? And he's out there destroying people's lives as we speak right here this morning. He wants to control your thoughts and my thoughts. He wants to control our words. He wants to control our actions. He wants us to control everything about you. But you see, the thing is that without Jesus Christ, you and I cannot break the control that Satan wants. He wants to control your thoughts. Have you ever said, well, I just won't do that anymore? You guys ever do that? You wake up the next morning or the next day and you did it again. Right? Because we try to do it with our own power. Our power is very, very limited. As much as we want to think our power is infinite and it's great and it's perfect, it's not even close to the power that Satan has. It's not even close to the power that God has, and Satan's power is not even close to God's. You see, Satan wants you and I to believe his lies, and that is that, to believe that he isn't that powerful. But please understand this. You and I, our churches today, we cannot break the power, the control of Satan on our own. We have to let God do it. And this is what Paul is getting at. I mean, Paul thought he had it all figured out, didn't he? I mean, he was following the law. He thought he cared about people. He thought he cared about people. What he really cared about was the law above everything else. And Paul was consumed by these things. Paul's thoughts were controlled. Paul's actions and his words were controlled. And then finally God said, enough. Now I'm going to control your thoughts. I'm going to control your actions. And what happened from there? Literally, the rest is history. Half of your New Testament that you have in front of you right now was written by a man who God changed. Okay? And used for you and for me. So, darkness is a person. Darkness is a power. And the second thing, too, is the third thing here that we need to remember is darkness is a preference. Okay? How many of you guys this morning are wearing the exact same clothes? Let me see. I don't think I see anybody wearing the exact same. Why not? Because we all have different preferences in how we dress, right? We all don't drive the same cars because we choose different cars, right? Different colors, different models, and so forth. And Satan in our lives, it's a preference, it's a choice. Okay? Let's take our Bibles here, and if you would please, and say right here in the New Testament once again, I want you to go to John. I want you to go to John chapter 3. John chapter 3, verses 19, starting in verse 19. And let's listen to what it says here to us about darkness to you and to me. Again, we're going to start right there. And Jesus Christ is here. He is speaking with Nicodemus. Obviously the passage John 3:16 is found here as well. But we're going to be in verse 19. And let's listen to this about the preference that is out there in our world. And this is the condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone practicing evil hates the light, and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God. People who do not know Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior prefer the darkness over the light. Okay? Listen what Jesus Christ said there to us. They prefer this. And why do they prefer it? Because they don't want anybody to know. They don't want to be exposed. You know, one of the great things that I believe that God does a lot of different things in our life to teach us about our relationship with Him. And have you ever thought about your relationship with your children or their relationship with you? Do you remember when they first figured out how to get into stuff? And they tried to hide stuff, right? They tried to do things that hopefully you didn't find out what it was that they were doing because they didn't want to get into trouble. You see, that's exactly what people do. They do it and they hope that people don't find out. They don't see it. They do it in a fashion by which they hope it is hidden. Children will do that. God teaches us that. God teaches us very clearly. If you pay attention, if we pay attention, He will clearly teach you and I about our relationship with Him through our relationship with our children, through our relationship with our husband or with our wife, or even with our friends. Okay, He will. How well we listen, how well we ignore, how well we're disobedient. How many times you say to your kids, "Why did you do that?" And they say, "I don't know." We had one of our kids say one time, "Because I was just disobedient." Hey, that was the truth, right? The truth. You see, this is what darkness wants you and I to be able to sit up there. He doesn't want us to be, he doesn't want himself to be exposed. Do you really think Satan wants the world to expose him? No. No, he does not want to be exposed, because if he's exposed, then the lies are exposed, and the lies are out there for everybody to see. Of course, there's going to be some who are going to believe those lies no matter what, but he's going to be exposed in such a fashion that people are going to see straight through and realize he's a liar, and realize he's a destroyer. Because he wants to use those things in your life. Satan wants to use things in your life and my life, including our emotions. Did you know that? He wants to use your fear. He wants to use your strengths. If he can try to figure out a way to manipulate and twist them, he wants to most certainly use your weaknesses. He wants to use your senses, if he can, to get you to follow darkness. That's how he works. And it's important that we understand that darkness is a choice that we make. Just like every single day, you and I choose to get up out of our beds. Every single day, we choose to do the things that we're doing. Very, very seldom is anybody in this world ever forced to do anything. It ultimately boils down to a choice. Yes, there's times it happens, but in practicalities, it doesn't happen very often. In practice, it just doesn't. So we need to remember here that Satan wants you and I to follow him, and when we do so, it's based upon our choice. So Satan is a person. Darkness is a person in the form of Satan. And his demons that he uses, and please do not sell short the power of demons. If you believe in angels, then you better believe in demons, and they're powerful. But who's more powerful? God. Who's more powerful? Angels. Why? Because the scriptures very clearly point that out. We got quite a few angels. We got Michael, we've got Gabriel. They were pretty strong guys. They did the work of God. But I want you to know something in your life and in my us. He can sure put roadblocks in the way, but he can't stop you. He can't stop us because why? Because darkness doesn't overcome light. Jesus Christ is the light of the world, and he that believes in him has that light shining in him. Again, that darkness is a power. And the third thing is that darkness is truly a preference. And the fourth thing I want us to see here, we've already read it, but I'm going to go back to it one more time. Please go back to the original verse of Matthew chapter 8. Let's read that one more time, and let's I want to point this out to you one more time. It is so important that we understand about darkness. Again, it is this, that darkness is a place. He says this, but the sons of the kingdom will be cast out into outer darkness. It is a place. It is a place that they will be thrown out. And what does it say? There's going to be weeping. There's going to be gnashing of teeth. Not a pleasant place to be. That this darkness is real. We have to quit pretending it isn't real. It is real. And it's been so on display in our culture over the last several years. It's unbelievable that people still have the nerve to say it isn't real. It's real. It's powerful. But we serve a God who's real and even more powerful. We serve a God who says, I've defeated the light through my Son, Jesus Christ. We need to remember this. We need that there's going to be weeping. There's going to be gnashing of teeth. And we have to understand something else, though. I want you to understand this. How many of you like to hear good news? All right, I got good news for you, okay? All right, I got great news for you, actually. And that is this. That the darkness is a thing of the past. Okay? It's a thing of the past. Why? Because the cross is empty, the grave is empty, and Jesus Christ is alive. That means the darkness is past. It is gone. Take your Bibles, please. I want you to stay right here in Matthew. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. I want you to hear what Jesus Christ has to say to us once again. Again, Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Listen to what he says about you and me, what he says about the church. Okay? It says this. It says this. It says, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. You and I, our church, is the light of the world because of Jesus Christ. Think about that. That means the world is in complete darkness. And the church, the believers in Jesus Christ, we are the light that Christ shines through so others can see him. Think about that for just a moment. The privilege that we should have as Christians to think about that. And as a church, the privilege that gives us. That we have the privilege of being the light that is there. Once we become believers, in Jesus Christ, we will no longer want to follow after darkness. And it gets sickening to hear people out there who are claiming to be Christians and their life is pure darkness because they don't go together. They're not compatible. And Jesus Christ has made that crystal clear. He says, you are the light of the world. Grab a hold of that for a moment, guys. I hope it puts a smile on your face. It's the light of the world. He lives through you. He lives through me. Once we have him, we have a new direction. And we have and hopefully people will see that. I've met people over the years that have said, well, I can become a Christian and still live how I want to. No, you can't. You can try, but here's what's going to happen. Are you ready? Here's what's going to try. You're going to be miserable. Your friends are going to, you're going to think your friends are against you. You're going to alienate yourself. Because it's the opposite of who God is. And he says, this is not who I am. And this is not who I am. You can't be it. Okay? We can't be it. We cannot be dabbling in saying that we're okay with certain things that the world teaches and does. And then the next breath we say that we love and follow after Jesus Christ. They don't go together. No matter how hard people want to try to convince you of that, they don't go together. And it's not about hate. It's not about hating someone. It's about simply saying, you know what? This is what the scriptures teach. This is what God teaches. And it's sad when we see some of the things going on here locally and around our world through in the name of the church, that is not compatible with who God is. And it's sad when that happens. And too many times people think it's okay for it to happen. And Christian, hear me, it is not okay. It is not okay. None of us are perfect, right? I mean, if we were all perfect, everything would be great in this world. But we serve a perfect God. We serve a perfect Jesus who says, I want to work through you. And that means sometimes people are not going to like you and I being the light. They're just not going to like it. But he says, you know what? I'm more powerful than that. We need to remember that when we become a Christian, one of the things that we have to understand is not pursuing bad things, but pursuing good things. Right? There's controversies. Every once in a while they'll come up about the Southern Baptist Convention. Do you guys know that? If you did, I'll let you know a little secret. Sometimes it happens, okay? Well, several years ago, there was a conflict about the Southern Baptist Convention joining up with another Baptist denomination that taught contradictions of the scriptures that Southern Baptist churches do not teach nor believe. And people were all upset that we wouldn't work with this other group of people because they were Christians. Well, you know what? Light has nothing to do with darkness. So listen, if a church is teaching darkness, it is in trouble. Okay? It is in huge trouble. And you and I as Christians need to stay away from it. Okay? Stay away from it. And it's not because you don't like them. It's not because they may not be the nicest person in their subdivision. It's because what they're teaching is not biblically correct. And that's what matters. This is what people have to understand. And we need to remember that God, well, your character and my character. You know, this past week, I saw a lot of people's character on the line. Did you guys see that? No, there's a lot of people's character on the line. And as Christians, I hope that nobody can look at you and look at me and say, I question their character. I hope that they can say that they see Christ living through us, and that your character, my character, the character of the church is who Jesus Christ is. It's going to offend some people. That's all right. The Bible tells us they hated Jesus Christ. They're going to hate you and me. They hated the early church. They're still going to hate the church today. And it's so evidently on display. But don't be afraid to say, you know what? I'm not having anything to do with darkness. Some people are going to say, well, that's awful judgmental. Then let them think that. Because they're the ones who are mistaken. Not if you're sticking to the scriptures. If you're sticking to the scriptures, there's nothing out there that people are going to agree with who don't believe in Jesus Christ. And in fact, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who believe in Jesus Christ who want to dabble in darkness. Stay away from it. Because I can't believe the garbage that I saw this past week in our television. The garbage that was out there. And people saying things in the name of justice. There was nothing done in justice this past week. There was nothing done with compassion this past week. You see, only Christ can truly give us compassion and that peace that we need. Our world around us, it doesn't know any better. You and I, as Christians and as a church, we should know that. And it's important, guys. I want you to understand this. Be excited that Christ wants to use you. You know, be excited about it. Think about that. The creator of the world says, I want to use you. And in fact, I want to use you so much. I'm going to send my son. I'm going to let my son die for you. He let him die for us. He could have stopped it. But he didn't. He didn't because of his love for you and for me. And finally, one last passage of scripture right here in the New Testament. Let's look at Paul. Paul's life. Remember, Paul became a Christian. He served the law more than he served anything else. And then when he became the Christian, he said he became a slave of Jesus Christ. 1 Timothy, please, if you would. 1 Timothy chapter 6. I want you to listen to what Paul writes to you and to me. And I want to close on this thought. He says this. He says, but you, O men of God, flee these things and pursue righteousness. Now I'm going to interject here some words because there's some commas in there, but I'm going to back up for just a moment. Pursue righteousness. Pursue godliness. Pursue faith. Pursue love. Pursue patience. Pursue gentleness. He says pursue it. Pursue it. Church, we need to pursue after these things. How do we do that? By letting darkness out. right? Letting that darkness be driven away by Jesus Christ and pursue those things. Pursue them with all that we have. Pursue them for who we are as individuals and as churches. Can you imagine if we flee those bad things? And Paul was writing about error and greed and lust and all those things in the verses prior to this. This is what he was writing to us about. This is what he was writing to Timothy about, who was a young pastor. This is what he was writing to us today. Look at the church today. Do we pursue all those things? I hope you do. I hope that we should be, right? I hope that we're not pursuing greed. I hope we're not pursuing the other things listed there in the first 10, 11 verses of that chapter. I hope that we can say we're pursuing after the love of God. That we're pursuing after godliness. Listen, godliness is not weakness. Godliness is strength to live the life that God wants you to live. The world's not going to agree with you. They're not. They're not going to agree with the thing you want to do. They're not going to agree with the thing that the church wants to do in the name of God unless they think they're going to get something out of it. Okay? And hopefully, as a church, that we never lead on to someone thinking that they're going to get something other than Jesus Christ. Okay? It's really important that we take what Paul wrote to Timothy, what Paul wrote to the early church, what Paul wrote to you and to me, and that we make sure everything that we do is characterized by this, and I will close. By seeking after God. That we are characterized by honesty. That we're characterized by openness to God. That we're characterized by good deeds. That we're characterized by integrity. That we're characterized by those things. Why? Because that's what God demands of us. This is what God demands of His church. This is why the world looks at the church and says it's full of hypocrites, because the church doesn't want to live this way. Because it's hard to do those things, isn't it? I mean, let's face it. There's times I want to get up in the morning and I say, I hope the world, everybody just leaves me alone. You ever been there? Everybody just leave me alone. But it doesn't always work like that, does it? But He wants us to have integrity. He wants us to have honesty. He wants us to be open to listening to Him and listening to one another. Listen, it's important to listen to one another. But do not ever let someone else's opinion about something not biblical stick and change your life. It has to remain in the Scriptures. Because that's who God is. That's who God wants us to be. Darkness is real. My question to you, are you living in it right now? Listen, if you're a Christian, Christ is living in you. The Bible tells us, and I read the passage to you, that once you become a Christian, that light's out there for everybody to see. Don't put it under a bushel. Don't put it under a bushel. Let people know. Listen, they'll know just in how you live your life. Just simply how you live your life. And this world is I'm telling you, this world is falling apart so quickly that they're going to look and say, well, how can you still make it through this world? How can you do it? You can say, what? Because of Jesus Christ. You let people see Him in your life. If you don't know Him this morning, cast that darkness out. Let the light of Christ come in. And let Him change your life and your Lord and Savior. Brother Donnie, would you come? Will you trust Him this morning with any decision you need to make? Let darkness flee and be gone and trust in Jesus Christ.